My name is Elizabeth Glum, and I'm doing my 8 to 10 minute video for EdTech 597, Introduction to Edutainment. I'm here with Barb Keltner, who is the librarian for Medicine Lodge Grade School and Junior and Senior High School. Today we're going to be talking about a program that the grade school and junior senior high school participate in. It's called IDL. Barb, can you tell me what IDL is?
Yes, IDL stands for Interactive Distance Learning. It's just kind of a fancy name for video conferencing, but we have a larger monitor and a whole classroom can participate.
Okay. Now, when did the school start this program about?
We got a grant from CanEd about 8 years ago to finance our original equipment that we got at the middle school, and then since then we've been able to get another grant that paid for equipment at the high school too. So now all of our students, pre-K through 12, have the opportunity to participate in this neat program.
Have there been any updates since then with hardware or software?
There are periodical updates, software updates that we do, and that's not a big deal or a big expense. Recently, we upgraded our monitor that's now at the grade school, and our cart as well. Our original one was a very cumbersome cart and a very large, heavy TV. So consequently, the cart could not move from the library easily at all. So when we upgraded, we got the flat screen TV, which is much lighter, and a smaller cart that just has the monitor and the camera on it. So we can go to the classrooms, which has made it very flexible. And so if there's something going into in the library at the time, we don't have to tell a teacher, sorry, you can't have the program at that time, or reschedule my library class. We can just move the cart into their classrooms, which makes it very convenient for everyone.
Okay. And then how do the standard IDL programs work?
I receive a number of opportunities for programs and send those out to the teachers that might be interested in them. If they have some interest, they email me back and I try to get us registered. Sometimes there's limits on how many classrooms can participate, and if the teachers wait too long to respond, then sometimes we don't get in. Almost always, though, we're able to get a slot. And usually there's maybe 3 to 10 schools, although there's some programs that include many, many more schools than that. If there's more schools, then our opportunity for interaction isn't as great, because the students, almost all the programs allow a question and answer time at the end, and they go around to all the participating schools, giving us each a turn to ask a question. And so if there's few schools, we get more turns, which we very much appreciate.
Okay. What type of classes are available, or programs available for the grade school, middle school, and high school? Give me a couple examples.
There seem to be programs on just about anything. The ones we participated in the last several years, there's a number of free science ones through Wichita State that are just exceptional, that our grade school teachers have very much enjoyed. A lot of hands-on things. They even send a box of special equipment that we'll use during the program, and the kids do experiments during the program, so that makes it even more fun. We've had one on Veterans Day. We have an English teacher who reads Anne Frank and has used the Holocaust IDLs for at least 4 years. They're exceptional ones that she's used, a number each time. We've had some teachers that have done collaborations with other schools where they come up with a project. One of them was make a monster, and each of the classes would design a monster and then would write down the instructions for how to create that monster. They would exchange the instructions to see if the other class, if they'd written their instructions well enough that another classroom could make it so it would match the first one. And so then they would meet on the IDL and show their creations, which was fun. We've had the opportunity to talk to various authors of some of our favorite books, including John R. Erickson, the author of the Hank the Cowdog books. We've had connections with zoos, so the zookeepers would actually have the animals in their hands and put them under the Elmo so we could see a porcupine up close. It was wonderful. Our new teachers have had in-services through the IDL. Other teachers have as well, but our new teachers have had a whole series of them that's been especially beneficial, because then they've gotten to talk to other new teachers in schools about our size in the area and exchange ideas, exchange concerns, ask if someone has a way to work with a certain concern, and so that's been very beneficial to our new teachers. We've also had some of our meetings over the IDL, which is wonderful because teachers don't have to leave. They get to save time and save money by not using a school car by participating in meetings via the IDL. Our American history teacher has had a wonderful IDL from the Mariners Museum called On Slavery, the History of Slavery, with some very interactive activities that the presenter has offered. We've had some on health, and in fact, some of our ones for health have been community programs. And just recently, we hosted a pediatric workshop where pediatricians and other health workers came to our school to participate on the IDL, and as did other pediatricians and medical workers all around the state. And so they had 2 full days of workshops, and they didn't have to leave Medicine Lodge to participate in them. But we can also have websites where if we're interested in a certain topic, for instance, one year a teacher said she'd really like to have a program on the stock market. Then I sent out the word, posted the word on the network, and received some replies from places that would put together a program specifically for our request, tailored to what this teacher wanted. So the possibilities truly are endless.
And then how do you think what's your personal opinion of how this program helps our students and teachers and community?
We have the opportunity to have special speakers, expert speakers, come to our school. And here we are in small, rural, south central Kansas. So the possibilities of having the actual person come are not very likely. And we couldn't afford it. But through the distance learning lab, we can actually have them in our school. I haven't mentioned the expense before, and a lot of the programs are free. The most we've probably paid is $125 for a program. Many of them are $75. So that's not a very big expense to have an expert on the topic come. I can see, especially in our situation as a rural school, that we'll probably be using it as a teacher in the future. Right now we have a foreign language teacher, but if we should not have her in the future and not be able to find one to come to rural Kansas, we could find a way to have our students take the foreign languages or ones that our teacher can't teach, like Chinese, over the distance learning lab. The same with advanced math. Those teachers are in such high demand that it's difficult to get one to come to rural Kansas. But we could take the class, our students could take the class via the IDL. So right now we're using it as a supplemental program, but I can see us using it as a classroom in the future, much more than we do now.
Okay. And finally, what do teachers and students say about the IDL programs when they use them? Are they reluctant to try it, or what happens when they do try it?
Both our teachers and students have very much enjoyed them. The students especially enjoy the opportunity to ask questions and also to meet students from other towns. Sometimes we have a little time to chit-chat and ask things about their schools and such. The biggest concern from the teachers has been the programs are a certain day at a certain time. And sometimes that doesn't work into their schedule, and so they pass up a very good opportunity reluctantly. But now we've had the opportunity to use some of those programs that have been archived via streaming video, which has been much more convenient for our teachers, and in addition costs less. One of the programs we're now using in streaming video costs $75 if we participate live. If we use a streaming video version, it's just $35. We still have the expert giving the presentation, but the thing we lose is the interactive part. Our students don't have the chance to ask questions, but they hear the questions that other students have asked, which is good too.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Mrs. Keltner, and we appreciate your input and your time working with this IDL program, and it sounds like it's a good way for students to escape a little bit further out of our small town here in Kansas. Thank you very much.
Thank you for asking me.
This is the television with the camera mounted on top that has 360-degree capabilities. The cart is mobile and on wheels. Underneath it has the Distance Learning Lab connector, which dials numbers out, and as well as a sound system underneath. So this cart is able to go anywhere in the school and is hooked up to the internet through the phone cord and through the power of electricity, so it's pretty much able to go anywhere.